Hello, welcome back, class. I hope everyone had a great break. I hope everyone is safe at home. I know it's weird changing to online now, but we're going to get through this. So your first task was to first go on to the online website, our new website, and watch the introduction video found on the home page. Once you've done that, now you should be able to navigate the website better. And now your second task was to go into week one's instructions and watch this video that you're watching now. So today we're going to be learning about fractions. I've also attached a guided note sheet to week one's instruction that you should have with you. You can type notes into it or print it out and write your notes into it, whatever you would like. So again, here we are going to start now. We're learning about fractions today. So you guys have been using fractions for a while. You've learned how to add them, multiply them, subtract them. So now we're going to learn how to divide them today, a fraction divided by a fraction. So just to review really quickly, we're going to define what a fraction is. So a fraction is a part of a whole, okay? So we know that 2/3, this top part is called the numerator. We know that. And then the bottom part is called the denominator. And altogether, this fraction 2/3 means there's two parts within the three parts. So there's two parts within the whole, which is three parts. So if we were to draw a picture of this, so the whole, the denominator, is 3. And out of all those three parts, 2, the numerator, are going to be shaded in. Sorry, this is the best I can do with my shading. So there's that, okay? So if we were to compare two fractions, let's say we have 1/4 and 3/4. So what is the difference? This is just review again. So we know the top is the numerator, the bottom is the denominator. So we know if we were to draw this, the whole is 4 parts. Sorry, they are not totally even. So there's 4 parts for the whole, and only 1 is shaded in. So 1/4 is represented here in the diagram. Now we have 3/4. Sorry, it's raining if you can hear that in the background. Oh, I don't know what they just did. So 3/4, we have 4 parts again. And now 3 of the 4 are shaded. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Sorry, my coloring skills are not on point right now. Okay, so now you can see 3 of the 4 parts are shaded. You can also tell that 3/4 is greater than 1/4 because there are more parts out of all the 4 that are shaded compared to 1/4, right? Okay, so now that we have a better understanding of fractions, we're going to start learning how to divide them. So we're dividing now. Divide. Okay, the sign for divide is this, just a refresher. So we're going to divide our first problem, 3/4 divided by 1/4. Still hope I have your attention. I know this might not be the most fun thing in the world to do right now, but at least you get to see my face. Okay, so 3/4 divided by 1/4. Since the denominator, the bottom, 4 and 4, they're both 4, both of the fractions' denominators are 4, we can just divide and do 3 divided by 1, which is 3, right? 3 divided by 1 is 3. It also can be written like this if you are confused. 3 divided by 1 is 3, right? And then 4 divided by 4 is 1. So basically here, since, like I said, this is a rule, if the denominators are the same, you can then do numerator divided by numerator and denominator divided by denominator, okay? But only if the denominators are the same exact number, okay? So our answer is 3. If we were to draw a picture, we could do, since they both have 4 parts as their whole, 3/4, so I'm shading in 3, 1, 2, 3. We know this is 3/4 right here, this diagram. We want to know how many groups of 1/4 make up the 3/4. So we know this is 1/4. We know this is 1/4. And we know this is 1/4, right? And this is 1/4, but it's not shaded, so we don't really care about that one. So out of the 3/4, how many 1/4 does it make? So we have 1, 2, 3. Our answer is 3. Okay? So there's that. Go to a new page. So now you're probably thinking, Miss Padel, what happens when the denominators are not the same? So I'm about to show you what you should do. We are almost to the end, so stick with me a little bit longer. Okay, so now we have a denominator of 4 and a denominator of 2. So that's an issue. We can't do 3 divided by 1 and 4 divided by 2, because that will give us the incorrect answer. But we can take the reciprocal of this and multiply. But before we learn about the reciprocal, I want you to understand why we can use it. So we have to think, what times 4 will give us 1? Well, we can multiply this by 4, right? Because then they'll cancel out. Because technically, this 4 would be on the top, and this 4 is on the bottom. So 4 crosses out. So now we have 3/1. Like I said, the denominator is now 1. On this side, what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we have to multiply this side by 4. So 4 times 1 is 4, right? And it's over 1, right? 2 times 1 is 2. So now our next task is to get the right side fraction, their denominator, to 1. So we're going to multiply this side by 2, right? Because it just cancels out. 2 and 2 cancel out. And then what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we multiply this side by 2. So now over here, we have 4/1. Whoops. And now we have to do 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. So now we just have 6 divided by 4. So we can write that as 6 over, or divided by, 4. So that is our answer. So now we're using the reciprocal. That's how you spell it. So if we were to do 3/4 divided by 1/2. The reciprocal of 1/2 means we're taking the fraction of 1/2, we're taking this, and we're flipping it so that the denominator becomes the numerator, and the numerator becomes the denominator. So now it's 2. We're doing 3/4 divided by 1/2, right? So, three simple steps. Step 1, keep. You're going to keep the left side of the fraction, 3/4. Next step, change. Sorry, I'm not the best at this. Change. So you're going to take the division sign and you're going to make it a multiplication sign. Third step, flip. So when I say flip, I'm saying take the reciprocal of the right side of the equation. So this one is a half. So we're taking the reciprocal of a half, which is just 2. So now all we have to do is solve this equation, and we know how to multiply fractions. So 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 1 is 4. We got the same answer as we did up here. The way that I just showed you is just to explain and for you to better understand this more simple way. Okay? 3/5 divided by 1/3. So our first step is to draw a box, right? My beautiful box. Sorry, it's not that beautiful. There. Okay. So we have to draw. We go to the left side of the equation, and we have 3/5. We look at the denominator, and we know there's 5 parts to make a whole. So I'm going to draw 5 columns. Okay. Now we go to the right side of the equation, and there's 1/3. We look at the denominator. It's going to take 3 parts to be a whole. So we're going to make 3 rows. So the left side, you draw columns. And the right side, you draw rows. So we're going to have 3 rows. Oh, sorry, that was a bad line. 3 rows. So we have 1, 2, 3 rows, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, okay? So now we're going to shade in 3/5 out of this entire box, okay? So since we drew columns to represent the 5 parts of a whole, we're drawing in columns. So there's 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 3/5, okay? There we go. I'll do this in a highlighter now. So now we want to highlight 1/3 of the rows. So I'm going to highlight 1/3 out of the 3. Okay. Now we're going to count the squares. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. The squares we shaded in black. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's our numerator. And then the yellow is going to be our denominator. So we have 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we get the same answer of 9/5. Now that you are done with watching this week's lessons video, you can go to daily schedule to see where you are on the checklist, see what you completed. So we did 1, 2, and 3, so now you're on step number 4. So you're going to follow the directions on the tic-tac-toe assignment. The assignment is linked to the bottom of this page. You can click on it, and it'll look like this. So the tic-tac-toe with fractions. You can read the directions so that you know in detail what you're expected to do. But basically, I'm just going to summarize it up for you right now. you're going to do 3 problems out of all of these 6 that are listed right here. You can either go up and down, or across, or diagonal and do those 3, or these 3. Your goal is to get 3 in a row, like tic-tac-toe. So you want to win. So you're going to choose 3, you're going to write them out. You can choose however you want to do them. I showed you 3 ways to find the answer when dividing 2 fractions. You can use the long way, or you can do the reciprocal way, or you can draw the diagram. Then, next, after that, in the directions it says you need to upload a video. You're going to video yourself choosing one of the 3 problems you liked best. So whatever problem you pick, you're going to write it out on a piece of paper, and you're going to video yourself explaining the steps you took to complete it. Before you do video yourself though, go back to our website and go to discussions, and then go to week 1 assignment. And here you're going to see my example video that I'm providing you. So watch that so you know what is expected of you as you're recording this video. I want you to do the one problem you chose though, all 3 ways that I taught you. So the one problem you chose, you're going to also do it the long way, and then you're going to use the reciprocal, and then you're going to draw the diagram. That's all going to be in your video. It should be 2 to 3 minutes long. It shouldn't be long at all. Okay? Once you're done with your video, you can also video using your iPad, your iPhone, your computer, whatever you know or how to use, you can use, okay? Once you're done, you're going to come to here. Like I said, it's under discussions. Week 1 assignment, dividing fractions. You see my example. You're going to come down to here, and you're going to hit this little camera guy, and you can either link a YouTube video right here, oops, or you can upload a video from your computer, okay? I'm also asking you to receive full credit, you must also upload your work to the 2 additional problems you completed. So all you have to do is take a picture with your phone or iPad or computer, whatever you have. Take a picture of your work from those 2 other problems and upload it here. You're just going to add an image, and then you're going to add it, and then hit publish so I can see it and see your work and see and look to see if you have understood this week's video. That should be all. If you do all of that, you will receive your credit for the week. Have a great rest of the week. Goodbye.